Me and my girlfriend Jasmine have been planning and saving for over a year to go on the trip of a lifetime across Southeast Asia. After lots of hard research, our plan is to start in Bangkok, Thailand and work our way around 11 different countries until we reach our final destination, Beijing, China. We'll be catching flights, buses, boats and any other means of transport as we explore new cultures, go on epic adventures and pick up memories that we hope will last a lifetime. We'll be recording as much of our trip as we can using our cameras, GoPros, iPhones and drone. There's a few big questions we need to answer. Will we handle almost 5 months of travelling together? Will we run out of money? Can Southeast Asia handle the female version of Cole Pilkington? Fasten your seatbelts. Prepare for a bumpy ride. This is our adventure. This is Bangkok to Beijing. Coming up on episode 1, our journey begins in the beautiful country of Thailand, known for its diverse culture, Buddhist temples, incredible landscapes and of course, the ladyboy culture. First up, we arrive in the crazy city of Bangkok to enjoy the New Year festivities.
My first meal of the year was a bit of a scorpion's pincers.
We then head south to the incredible Railey Beach, where Thailand's worst tropical storm in 30 years decides to threaten our entire trip.
It's day 2 of the storm, Pagodas, and we've been stranded here for another day. The ferries weren't running to Koh Phangan again.
Next, we explore the famous backpacking islands of Koh Phangan, made famous by the Leonardo DiCaprio film The Beach. After a stop in the chilled island of Koh Lanta, we fly over to the east of Thailand and the crazy island of Koh Phangan, famous for its half and full moon parties. After that we visit Koh Tao and Koh Samui before heading north to the city of Chiang Mai, where we get stuck into some amazing activities.
So we're at Heathrow, we're just walking to go and board the plane now. Had some wonderful lunch, but I'm kind of concerned it's probably the last time that Jazz is going to actually be able to eat anything of non-meat variety. But yeah, I think we're both really excited. We've got like a 15-hour flight now, so it's going to be pretty 15-hour walk to the gate, followed by a 15-hour flight, so that should be interesting.
In Bangkok, having good breakfast.
Excellent, thank you
Very much.
I think your knife's on there.
Thank you.
Got back here.
And got Italian.
Flying the plane, there we go, land it down, chief.
Just got to Beijing airport. The flight was like 10 hours, so we're absolutely knackered. I mean, my Fitbit's saying it's meant to be like 10 to 5 in the morning UK time, and we're boarding our next flight to Bangkok I think in about 15 minutes, so that's another 5-hour flight. And I think we found a Costa, which is quite interesting. Fly halfway around the world and we'll still be able to get Jazz a flat white. So yeah, we look pretty rough, to be honest. I've got bags under my eyes. Look at the state of them. So the good news is we've arrived at Bangkok airport. The bad news is there only seems to be one of us that have actually got their bag. So it turns out my bag is still in Beijing and won't be landing until 12 o'clock. But it's all okay because the guy said, oh yeah, it just didn't make the flight. You know, it just didn't get on there. Yeah, because that's a normal thing, thanks. I absolutely stink. I've got like BO. I've been sweating on a 16-hour flight. So, as you can imagine, I'm probably not the most pleased as possible, but Jazz has got loads of clothes that I can probably try on. So, welcome to Thailand. Oh, what a day. We've just got back to the hotel room. All looks all right, but then you look across the road and you got Thai massage with a happy ending all the way down. I hope Jazz falls asleep early. Just kidding. It's been a completely long ass day, hasn't it? I think we're just going to get showered up, and I'm going to probably have to wear a pair of Jazz's pyjamas, if that's okay, Jazz. She's nodding.
The next morning my case finally arrived. Unfortunately, I discovered that the Chinese government had confiscated my drone battery. After sulking for a little bit, we jumped in a taxi and started to explore Bangkok.
We're at the Grand Palace now. Just going to have a quick walk around, try and find out what it's all about. There's a lot of, I don't know, temples, shrines, all coated in gold. And we'll try and show you a bit of that. But yeah, very touristy, lots and lots of people. So many people around here, it's absolutely crazy. Well, we've just got out of the Grand Palace, we saw the Emerald Buddha, and there must have been at least 10,000 people in there. Look at my sweat patches. I'm literally stuck to people. If you are going to come to Bangkok to see this, probably don't do it on a Sunday. I guess it's busy, I don't know. Could be always like this, but that was manic.
And just like that, our first day exploring some of Bangkok's famous temples was over. The following day we explored some more of Bangkok before heading up the Bayoki Tower, an 88-storey skyscraper hotel which provided some amazing views over Bangkok, and included with the entry price was a couple of cocktails. On New Year's Eve we decided to get up early and head to the legendary Mbk Center, Bangkok's largest mall filled with thousands of shops and stores. This place was like nothing we'd seen before, with 8 floors of pure carnage. Naturally we headed to the food court to get stuck into some traditional Thai food.
Me and Jazz have just had, I've had pad Thai, Jazz has had, what did you have? Mixed vegetables and rice. Total meal came to about £2.40, so doesn't cost a lot at all. We're going to have a walk around the rest of the shops. I think Jazz wants to pick up a knockoff hoodie. And then we'll go back and chill and then get ready for tonight. New Year's Eve we're going to go up Koh Samui Road and then see what happens.
You are Stephen. Oh my god. Two Changs.
Two Changs in his foot.
Two Changs.
Two Changs. It's New Year's Eve and we're going to head up to town. I don't know what's going to happen. There's a couple of places we could potentially go. I'm 2 Changs deep. And
Two Changs.
ready for a few more Changs. If you're wondering what Chang is, people that don't know, it's this Thai beer. And we realised, well, we googled, that Chang means elephant, as you can see on the actual can. So yeah, they're actually quite tasty, to be honest.
too many people at ACT, so we're going to head to Koh Samui Road. We're just in a tuk-tuk now. It's absolutely mobbed. There was just so many people, you couldn't move. Talk about claustrophobia, that was just the worst thing ever. On to Koh Samui Road now. Let's see what that's got in store. Worse before.
What's it taste like?
It's horrible. Happy New Year, everyone. My first meal of the year was a bit of a scorpion's pincers. To be honest, that was absolutely horrendous. Like, worse than I thought it was going to be. It just tasted like, I don't know, like what you imagine a scorpion would taste like, but just like the texture was like chewing on a bit of plastic, and then it was like you could get the flavour in your mouth, and then I started heaving a bit, but yeah, there we go, scorpion done. Just jumped back in a tuk-tuk, and the night is pretty much over. Bag of Doritos, another Chang and a bed, I think. It's been really busy everywhere. It's not been the best of nights, but we've enjoyed ourselves in the end. So if you come to Bangkok, come out really early, because we left it really late and wasn't the best, but never mind. We'll try again another year. Just down the road from the hotel, one of the local Thai massage parlours kept the New Year's Eve party going right through to the early hours. After a full day recovering from New Year's Eve, our time in Bangkok was over. The next part of the trip involved island hopping across many of Thailand's beautiful islands. The first destination was Railay, an isolated beach location in the Krabi province. To get to Railey Beach, we had to catch a taxi from Bangkok to the airport, a flight down to Krabi, a lift from Krabi airport to the boat port, and finally catch a boat into Railey Beach itself. Okay, so we finally got to Railay Beach. You can only get here via boat, so it was quite interesting lumping all the gear on and off a little long-tail boat. But we've got to the resort, it's called Avatar Resort. As you can see, the room is pretty awesome. They've upgraded us. We've got a jacuzzi, which is a big win for Jazz, because she loves a bath. She hasn't got a bath at home anymore. Shout out to Jazz's mum and dad. Don't think she's happy about that still, but we've just read a little sign that you can get fined for feeding the monkeys, so I know what Jazz is like. Just drop the stuff off at the room, gonna have a chill out for a bit and then go and do a bit of exploring. So yeah, really exciting. two types of monkeys. There's one called a dusky and one called a macaque, and they're two completely different creatures, and they're both awesome. And tonight we're just going to go for a bite to eat, listen to the guy who's performing downstairs, and then tomorrow we catch our boat and we're going to head over to Koh Phangan.
And all I can breathe is alive. Sooner or later it's over. I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't wanna word to say it, 'cause I don't think that they understand all that. That everything needs to be broken. I just want you to know.
We had a truly amazing time in Railay, but things were going to take a turn for the worse as we started to hear stories about an incoming storm. I'll go back to a status on the 27th of December by a one Jasmine Burgess of Rugeley. Off to a good start. True to tradition, I'm sick the day before we fly. I'm cursed, I swear. To add to our collection of surviving Hurricane Irma in Florida, stuck in Paris due to snow, and what else, Rob Stanley? Basically, every time we seem to go anywhere on holiday, we get completely screwed over by pretty much a natural disaster, a hurricane, a storm. And I think true to form, we've come out to Thailand and everyone was bantering us before we got here. So just feast your eyes on this. Tourists flee Thai islands after weather warnings. Thousands of tourists and residents have reportedly fled islands off Thailand's southeast coast to escape an approaching tropical storm. Now tomorrow we're going to Koh Phangan, which is actually on the west side of the south bit of Thailand. On the BBC article it says several areas including Koh Phangan have been enforced with bans on boats. Now the only way to get to Koh Phangan, like Railay here, is via a boat. So whether we'll get a boat tomorrow or not, it's anybody's game.
You're right on a kayak, ain't you?
We're all right on a kayak, says Jazz. But in our defence, we've survived Hurricane Irma, we've lived through Storm Brian, we've been stuck in Paris due to Storm Emma, and Storm Pad Thai ain't gonna stop this trip, so let's hope we can crack on and not be too affected. Okay, I've just got back from the little ferry port and I asked if boats were running to PP today, and they give me the big X, and then the guy was doing this like big wave movement, which was quite funny to be honest. So we're stranded here for another night, which is a little bit annoying because we've got a hotel booked tonight in Koh Phangan for the next 3 nights. So
And not one here.
And not one here. So that's going to be an expense, I think, of probably best part of 100 quid, which is annoying because we've got to try and stick to the budget. So we're going to go and have some breakfast and make a plan. So it's literally Attack of the Monkeys. We're just sat on the balcony of the hotel and there's been like 15-20 monkeys just jumping around causing havoc. The people working here are down here with big sticks and rods and catapults just trying to get rid of them. It's a bit cruel. You see this guy down here, look. It's got like a big pole trying to get them off people's balconies, but there's one. So yeah, the weather's not great, but we're having fun up on the balcony watching all the monkeys, so why not? The monkeys are obviously quite a nuisance to the locals as well. You see on the walls here, they're putting like loads of broken glass and bottles and stuff to stop them walking, into their back gardens and stuff. It's a shame really. I think as tourists you come here and appreciate the monkeys, but I don't think the locals do. I think they're pests, which again, it's a shame, but as you can see down the path, Jazz is being terrorised by monkeys. Yeah, record it where I snapped my ankle. Just walking down the walking street here in Railay, and there's all sorts going on. There's a skunk bar
I'm not sure what they serve there, but next door you can get a skunk massage as well. Jazz has just picked up a nice pair of fish flip-flops. She's going to be wrapping them down on the beach in a minute. Loads of bars and restaurants, quite nice actually. So it's day 2 of the storm Pagodas, and we've been stranded here for another day. The ferries weren't running to Koh Phangan again. You're probably here in the background. It's absolutely hammering it down. But tomorrow we're going to hopefully try and get the ferry. I've been and spoke to a couple of the guys selling tickets, and they reckon it's going to be running. Hopefully the weather holds up and we can get over there. So this morning we're finally off to Phi Phi. So we have to take a little long-tail boat, which then takes us out to the ferry. So we've got to wade through the water with our bags and stuff, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, looking forward to a bit of change of scenery now.
Finally, after 4 days of being stranded on Railay, we were able to jump on the 90-minute ferry to the Phi Phi Islands. The Phi Phi Islands are one of Thailand's epic island destinations, made famous by the film The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. The Phi Phi Islands were also devastated by the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, where it's believed over 850 people were killed. After dropping our bags at the hotel, we decided to hike up the Koh Phi Phi viewpoint, which ended up being a little more difficult than we expected.
This is knackering. Absolutely knackering. Sweating like a pig. This guy's going up quicker than us.
After a hard sweaty walk in the 34-degree heat, we eventually reached the top, which provided amazing views over the island of Koh Phi Phi.
This is a well-earned Chang. If there was ever a well-earned Chang, this is it. So we've got to the top of the second viewpoint. We're just outside at the calf. There's been a monkey terrorising a few of the customers here, and the guy from behind the counter has come out with his catapult, which is a bit shady to be honest, because he wasn't causing any harm, but it is what it is. There's a woman going mad because there's a monkey in a little hut.
Is that your pet? Oh.
Just chilling. Hello. Good evening, sir. Oh, he's watching the telly. Fair enough. Bye.
The next morning we headed out on the incredible Phi Phi Lay Island tour, where we visited Monkey Island, the world famous Maya Bay, and a number of other beautiful locations. So the beach shown in the background is actually the world famous Maya Bay, used as the main location for the Leonardo DiCaprio film The Beach. For years this has been on my bucket list, so it is incredible to finally get there. However, as many of you may know, it's actually shut, so we didn't physically get to walk on it. Unfortunately, the Thai government shut Maya Bay in June 2018 to allow it to recover from damage caused by over-tourism. It's expected to reopen in 2021 with tourist restrictions and strict new policies. So if you are planning on making a trip to Maya Bay, give it a couple of years before going. After watching an incredible sunset on the boat, we returned back to PP for a night of Muay Thai boxing, a specific mixed martial art that happens to be Thailand's biggest sport. Got on the ferry for Koh Lanta, so we're waving bye to PP, and we've had a pretty good time in Koh PP, to be honest, and now heading to Koh Lanta, so let's see what that offers. The ferry from Koh PP to Koh Lanta takes just under an hour. Koh Lanta is an island known for coral fringed beaches, mangroves and rainforests. It has a much more relaxed vibe than PP, and our accommodation was just 20 metres from the idyllic beach.
I think more than 7-8 stations more out here soon. Nice color, and fine things to do in the 3 days because it's
Today we're having a quiet day on Koh Lanta Long Beach. Our bungalow where we're staying is literally just up there, and the beach itself is awesome. It's just, I think this one we're on is about 2 kilometres from top to bottom, and it's just lovely white sand, lovely warm sea. So yeah, we're just having a chilled out afternoon, and then hopefully this afternoon we're going to go to the Koh Lanta Animal Welfare Center, where you can see all the strays, the cats and dogs. Hello.
She's not happy enough right now. I have to like go away for 3 hours.
So we've come to the Koh Lanta Animal Welfare Centre, and they've got a load of rescue cats and dogs that they bring in that are injured and stuff like that, and they basically patch them up. They've got an on-site vets here with x-ray machines and stuff like that, and then they try and get them rehomed, and some of them are going all over the world. We've heard some really, really sad stories that are, you know, tear-jerking really. It's pretty sad, but we've come to play with one now called Peru, so we've been playing with her, and we're hopefully going to get to walk a dog called Andre. So yeah, it's an awesome place. They do a lot of good work.
Oi. I just want to cuddle it.
Hello, Peru.
Hello. Ah. That's good, isn't it? Oh, he's strong.
So we're just walking the dog Andre, who's one of the strays from the Koh Lanta Animal Welfare Centre. He's the dominant male of the pack, and he's the biggest dog they've got there, so apparently they needed somebody experienced. We fit that bill, so we're just walking him down to the beach now, which apparently is his favourite route, and we get to play with him on the beach, which is pretty cool. Just on our way back from the Koh Lanta animal place, and we dropped off the dog Andre, and one of the volunteers there said that he'd been macheted by his previous owner. 3 times he'd been macheted, and apparently it's not uncommon in Thailand. Apparently there was a spate of people driving around on mopeds attacking dogs with machetes, which is pretty horrific, to be honest. We did hear some pretty nasty stories, but fortunately they're doing a good job putting it right. So we've had a wicked day, really enjoyed walking the dog. Feels like we're back home again. We spent a total of 3 nights in Koh Lanta before heading to the party island of Koh Phangan, located on the other side of Thailand. The mad journey over there involved a trip back to Krabi airport, a flight to Koh Samui, and then finally a ferry to Koh Phangan. We spent our time in Koh Phangan checking out the incredible food market, soaking up the hostel vibe, and exploring the beautiful island in our incredible Suzuki Jimmy. Everybody else got scooters. Me and Jazz got this shitty Suzuki Jeep. Yeah. Sounds like a Glasgow guy doing it. West Ham. West Ham. Okay, so this section in Koh Phangan might seem slightly messy, and well, that's because it was. We had such a laugh in the Good Time Backpackers hostel gearing up for the half moon party, we actually forgot about recording much of our experience. Nevertheless, it was the night of the half moon party and we were ready to rock and roll. Unfortunately, the half moon party didn't quite live up to expectations. Like most big events, the pre-party in the hostel was actually the best bit. We found the half moon party to be very commercial, and in the end, our night was cut short by the most torrential rain we've ever experienced.
So we finally got to the island of Koh Tao, and we had a pretty messy couple of days in Koh Phangan, recovering from the hangover of the half moon party, which was pretty wild. But yeah, the adventure continues. We got to Koh Tao yesterday. It was about a 2-hour ferry from Koh Phangan, which seemed to last forever, as all ferries do over here. But yesterday we booked on for our 4-day open water course, so we're going to be learning to dive, which is something that I know Jazz is a little bit apprehensive to do, but me too, I guess. But yeah, really excited. That starts later on today.
Decompensator to make descending, swimming at the proper attitude.
Okay, let's jump forward 3 days. So me and Jazz completed the pool-based diving skills, passed our theory exam, but then completely bottled our first dive. We simply weren't confident enough and felt a little too rushed through the course, which is a huge shame. We were super gutted not to complete the course, but it was certainly for the best. Anyway, we have no hard feelings with the dive centre and still really enjoyed the beautiful island of Koh Tao. We decided to cut our stay in Koh Tao short after the diving disaster, and we headed back to the island of Koh Samui to enjoy a couple of days relaxing before heading north to Chiang Mai. Unfortunately, the rough ferry across was sign of things to come, as we spent 2 full days in the hotel room avoiding the rain. Come to Koh Samui, they said. It'll be sunny, pleasant, no wind, no rain, and we have wonderful beaches. So here we are in Koh Samui, and seems to be wherever we go we get bad weather, so we're not bothered. So today we're going to Chiang Mai, and typically the weather in Koh Samui now looks absolutely awesome. The wind's dropped, the sun's come out. Basically all day yesterday it hammered down for the entire day, which meant we were pretty much stuck in the room. So today, yeah, we're going up to Chiang Mai. We're going to catch a flight in a couple of hours. It's a 1 hour 30 flight up to Chiang Mai from here in Koh Samui. And then I think the hotel's only 10 minutes away from the airport, which isn't too bad. So yeah, let's go and do it. Chiang Mai is a laid-back city located in the mountainous region of northern Thailand. It's home to many temples, has fantastic culture, and is a great base for some awesome days out. We started off our first day in Chiang Mai with a trip to the iconic Doi Suthep Buddhist temple.
So here at the temple, the Buddhist temple, and there's like loads of steps, and instead of walking them, me and Jazz are going to do the British thing and get the cable car. It's definitely a British thing, a lazy British thing to do.
The temple can be reached by climbing the 309 sacred steps, or like us, by taking the mountain tram. Doi Suthep is said to have been founded in 1383 and is a very sacred site to many Thai people. Located just 15 kilometres outside the city, it's a must visit and offers impressive views over downtown Chiang Mai. After visiting the temple, we took a ride on a local song chow back into the city and decided to experience a Thai cinema. We actually found that cinema complexes in Southeast Asia were generally better than the UK. The crazy thing was, we were the only people in the cinema, and we had to observe the Thai national anthem before the film started. The action-packed day continued as we headed to the Chiang Mai Sunday night walking street, a huge outdoor market with stores selling art, crafts, clothes, food and more. The walking street in Chiang Mai was topped off with a traditional Thai dance performance, which included, you guessed it, some Thai ladyboys. The following morning we headed on a day trip to the Doi Phangan National Park, where we experienced waterfalls, local village tribes and Thailand's highest mountain.
So we've come to visit what's called a traditional Karen village, which is the native people to this part of Thailand, and we've been told they've got various different tribes across the whole of the country. The ones with the long necks you've seen with the weird bits of jewellery and metal that stretch the necks out, they're from a slightly different region, but the ones here live completely naturally. They do various bits of sewing, crafts, cooking, they grow their own coffee and stuff like that.
But the main attraction, like in most places in Thailand, is the dogs. We've got some adorable little pups down here that we've been playing with. But yeah, I mean, it's what you expect from like a little tribe village, I guess. They've got electric, they don't have running water, they don't have gas, and everything they cook is completely natural and from the land. Jazz is distracting me now, and I think she wants me to play with the pups, so.
Cutie tootie, aren't you?
The next stop on the tour was the multi-level Seraphim Waterfall. After a short stay here, we ventured to a roadside market where there were many locally crafted items and delicacies available. If you're into alcohol, we highly recommend trying the local brews, especially the strawberry wine, which will help keep you warm in the surprisingly cool mountain temperatures. So this morning at 6 o'clock here on the top of the mountain, it was 1 degree Celsius. It's now about 18, just to put it into perspective. But down on the ground, sort of, you know, back where we come from, it's about 31, 32.
Highest spot in Thailand. Oh, that is a part of army, pilot. That is a pilot, now pilot army.
Our final stop was the Doi Infinite Temple and Gardens, which featured the very bizarre King and Queen Pagodas. This massive building behind was constructed in honour of the 9th King of Thailand, who is not too long deceased, and there's quite a long period of mourning and stuff. Over there we've got the Queen, so this is for the King, and that one over there is for the Queen. And Jazz's first comment was, "It looks like something off that puppet show, what's it called?" It was Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, I'll go.
Unfortunately, the pagoda didn't end up turning into Thunderbird 1, but the views made up for it and topped off an awesome day. Our last adventure in Chiang Mai was visiting the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary, an ethical and sustainable eco-tourism project concerned only for the welfare of elephants in Thailand. This was a day we looked forward to for so long, and one which we'll never forget.
So in the morning we're gonna feed elephant first, okay? Afternoon we're gonna swim with elephants. Swim, play with elephant in the mud at the waterfall. What is that? Banana and sugar cane. It's not just for elephant dessert, you know, yeah. So camp 7 we have, we had 2 baby elephants. The youngest ones are 1 year and 11 months. Okay. Another ones are 2 years and 4 months. Okay. All elephants, they have a name. They have Thai name, but sometimes difficult for you guys call elephant name. Like because Thai, Thai language sometimes like the tone difficult, yeah. I don't know. I changed the baby name to English name. It's easy for you can remember. So the youngest one names are Lady Gaga. Another one's Rihanna. Is it right to remember? Yeah. When you say bon bon, okay, but what you guys say double bon bon. Bon bon means like an elephant come to you to put and open them up. Okay. But you have to say very loud because elephant is not very good to hear. We control elephant by the voice. You will see elephant trainer. They can speak elephant very loud. When you say bon bon, elephant baby is going to run to you very fast.
After our introduction, it was time to feed the elephants.
Bon bon!
Hold your hand, okay? Hold your hand. Banana first.
Bon bon!
Oh no. Oh, you put it right in the mouth. Okay. Alright. Bon bon. We know how to stop ourselves. You're cute. They're really ready to snack. Bon
bon. Close to the baby, close to the baby.
Bon bon. She's eating up you greedy little one. Yeah. I think we should try.
Bon bon.
Bonbon.
What do you have in your pocket? Can I get one? She's leaving. Sorry.
That's the only reason you're here.
After meeting the elephants and treating them to a main of bananas, it was time to fetch some sugarcane for their dessert. At this point, we were really getting to know them.
So we've just been feeding the elephants, and they're all so gentle, and they just stomp around like this. And just having a good time really.
Bonbon?
Bonbon. You have to shout bonbon when they open their mouth like this, but yeah, awesome, really good fun.
Now would be a good time to tell you the disturbing truth about elephants. To many people, having an elephant ride in Thailand is a bucket list item. Unfortunately, there's a dark side to elephant tourism a lot of people aren't aware of. For years, elephants have been abused, tortured and forced to live a completely deprived and unnatural life as part of a dark tourism culture. Naturally, wild elephants won't let humans ride on them, so as a baby they're taken away from their mother, thrown into tiny cages, brutally beaten and then starved in order to break them. This process is known as the crush. You can actually watch horrific videos online showing this process. Fortunately, there are many elephant sanctuaries like the one we visited which rescue elephants from these tourism rings. They can then live a happy and safe life. If you're coming to Thailand or Southeast Asia, please don't ride on an elephant and always avoid places that offer this activity.
So some interesting facts for you. The guide was saying that elephants live pretty loud. Elephants live at the minute between 80 and 100 years. They used to live a lot longer, but as over time they've been worked and farmed and stuff like that, they used to be 200 years, but they've just got lower and lower. The other thing he was saying was quite interesting, is that all of the elephant riding sanctuaries are run by Chinese that just exploit them and just there really to make money out of them, which is a shame. But these guys here look really looked after, and the mahouts, which are the guys, they're trainers or they're lifelong friends, they grow up with them and they can have them for many years. And I think we've been looking at a couple, and as soon as the mahout talks, the elephant's just like, okay. So yeah, awesome. Just going to have a bite to eat in a minute, I think, and then we're going to go and make some medicine balls. All good.
They say that elephants never forget, and for sure that's one experience we'll never forget. Our day at the sanctuary was the perfect way to end 4 weeks in the incredible country of Thailand. We saw and did so many epic things and found that it was the perfect place to get adjusted to the travelling lifestyle. We'll fondly remember Thailand, and I'm sure we'll be back pretty soon to tackle the many places we didn't manage to go to on this trip. Well, thank you all for watching, and let's take a look at what's coming up in episode 2. The journey continues as we cross into the country of Laos, and begin in the capital, Vientiane. We then take a very bumpy and uncomfortable 4-hour bus journey north to Vang Vieng, the adventure paradise of Laos, where jazz didn't seem to get much luck. Our journey through Laos ends in the ancient capital, Luang Prabang, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where we visit the incredible Quang Si Falls. After that we fly into Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, for Tet, the Vietnamese New Year, and take a trip to the famous Ha Long Bay. Next we start our journey south through the epic cities of Da Nang, Hoi An, Nha Trang and Mui Ne, as the Vietnamese sleeper buses started to become a real problem. Our last stop in Vietnam was Ho Chi Minh City, better known as Saigon. From here we were able to visit the Mekong River Delta and get a real understanding of the Vietnam War. We then fly to Cambodia and visit the town of Siem Reap, where we embark on an expedition to the magnificent Angkor Wat, one of the largest temple complexes in the world. Finally, we spend a few days in the island city of Singapore, Malaysia, where the average cost of a beer is an eye-watering £8.
Good girl.